Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here, and this is going to be episode 1.5 in For Queen and Country in Civilization 6. As I like to say on the channel, I have two audiences on the channel. I've got my live audience, and of course the episodes never are actually live, but there are those of you who are watching the episodes day to day as the series comes out, and for those of you who have been doing that, you are seeing this shortly before episode 5 goes live. And then I've got my backlog audience. And my backlog audience is probably seeing this right after they've watched episode 1 for the first time, which is the plan. I'm going to put this in, again, 1.5. It's going to go between episodes 1 and 2. But I wanted to go over some game settings with you because we are going... Hold your breath. Or rather, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Yeah, don't hold your breath. That's the opposite of what you need to do. We're going to restart the series. And the big reason, there's several things that I wanted to change, but the big reason and the thing that really made me think in terms of, I've never done this before, but let me actually restart, was the game wasn't going as planned in a couple of big ways. The largest of which you might have spotted if you read the comments on episode 3, I think it was. There were some civilizations that I noticed were missing from the map, and I was like, this is really unusual. At first it was Spain, but as I continued to record the original episode 5, episode 6, episode 7, Rome wasn't there, Greece wasn't there, neither Greece was there, Egypt wasn't there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is definitely fewer than 12 civs, something is wrong. And what I found out was that when you're playing on a true start location map, because true start location is a modded feature, not part of Civ 6 vanilla, you have to definitely, this is a lesson learned for me, but for anyone else who is either playing Civilization 6 on their own with mods or is doing their own YouTube series, whatever it might be, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it might be, you have to actually select the civs that you want to be on the map. Because, let's say Civilization 6 doesn't know how true start location works. It doesn't know how to work with it. So let's say Civ 6 tries to randomly pick America to go on the map. Well, America doesn't belong in Europe. So if you're playing on a true start location map like Europe that's only going to have certain civs on it, then what happens is you can't guarantee that America is going to spawn. The game will pick America, and then America doesn't belong on the map, so it doesn't appear, but that's one of the 11 random choices that I instructed the game to make. So as a result, there were fewer than 12 civs. From what I could tell, there were probably only around 6 or 7 civs on the map total. So yeah, that changed. But another thing that was kind of going wrong, and this is kind of an artifact of the fact that I now am running a much faster processor than I was when the series started. Now that I've gotten this upgrade done, turns are processing faster, I was going through things faster, and we were not even in episode 10 yet, and I was already at like 1500, 1600 AD. And I was like, this is not the epic feel that I was going for at all. So because we restarted on account of the leaders problem, I have also, as you may notice here, I've changed the game speed to epic, just to make sure we get that nice longer series that we've been going for. We're still going to have... the research mod is going to help as well, because the research is going to take twice as long. But that's the other change that I made. The final change that I made, those of you who did just watch episode 1 may recall very readily that there was no food production on top of the Cliffs of Dover. Yet Not Another Map Pack actually has a sub-mod that you can activate that gives a food bonus to the Cliffs of Dover so that those tiles do produce food, while also reducing the culture and gold bonus that come inherent to the Cliffs of Dover. What I did was, I said, well, why limit the original Cliffs of Dover? Like, it's not that huge of a bonus. It's the mod doesn't do away with them completely, it just reduces them. So I tweaked the mod, I did my own version, and I turned it on. And what it does is it gives you the 2 food that the mod originally added in to make sure that those 2 tiles are productive food-wise, and that London will actually grow in the opening the way it wasn't in episode 1 without changing to food focus. But also I preserved the 3 culture 2 gold instead of the 1 culture 1 gold that works with the standard, or that goes with the standard sub mod. So that is what's happening. I do want to note that I did go on Twitter, I went to the Steam group, and I went to the subreddit, and I did solicit some feedback on this. I checked with everyone just to get the general feeling. I didn't get a ton of responses, but the responses that I did get were leaning toward, they were skewed toward, yeah, restart it. I had most people, the category that was most responded to was definitely restart it, considering that this has happened. But then the other responses were leaning that way. There was no one that was very strongly in favor of keeping it going as it was. Not to say that, it wasn't interesting, because it definitely was. There are definitely going to be some people who might be curious about how the original series went, and I'm not going to delete that save, so who knows, I might go back to it one day just for fun. But yeah, that is the long and short of it. This is the long explanation. Of course, I'll give a brief explanation in the opening of episode 5 so that everyone kind of knows what's happening. But this is the long version. So if you have any questions, this video would also be a great place to ask them. Let me know just if you have any curiosities, for instance, about how that other run was going before we changed course to start this one, or if you're curious about any of it. Feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit.